One of the best things about music is hearing music for the first time or discovering a new band. With thousands of new music groups debuting worldwide every year and hundreds of established acts releasing new material, it can be hard to keep up with what's current. It's even harder for the bands themselves, who have to make a name by breaking through the noise floor to get your attention. To even make it to the point where you hear their song in the first place takes a huge effort and a complex campaign of effective promotion. One great way to step out of the crowd is to become an active part of it. South by Southwest is a massive annual art festival featuring cutting-edge music, comedy, interactive media, and film presentations. Now, for a fee, participants can spend 10 days in Austin, Texas, sampling as many performances and events as they wish, all the while meeting other fans, artists, and industry people. It's part trade show, part mega concert, but it's not just for fans. It also serves as a meeting point for new artists and potential managers, collaborators, and industry executives. Roland Swenson, one of the original founders of the event, is managing director of South by Southwest. He plays a huge role in promoting the event, which in turn is designed to serve as a major promotional tool for artists. The most recent South by Southwest featured some 2,000 musical acts, playing for over 20,000 roving attendees. But it was much smaller at first.
The opportunity to do South by Southwest came along as part of a community effort to develop the local music scene as a attraction for tourism to Austin, and to also try to build up the business aspect of it. Austin was pretty remote at the time, and it was difficult for people to make those kinds of business connections living here. So we kind of had the idea like, well, if we could bring all of those people here, then it would be so much easier.
Even with its popularity, South by Southwest requires a huge promotional effort to assure enough people attend for the event to recoup its costs. After all, the more people, the better the party, right? So Roland employs every tool in the promotion mix. Advertising is paid, non-personal communication through various media, like radio commercials and notices in music magazines, by the organization identified in the message. So a group attending South by Southwest might pay to have things said about themselves. This saves the promoters from having to do a lot of the advertising themselves.
We don't really buy advertising, we sell advertising. You know, if you look at how any media outlet works, they tend to do promotions and partnerships as opposed to the ad buys that a regular business would do.
Those relationships are kind of the opposite of South by Southwest, buying advertising. Instead, when corporate sponsors like Subway sandwiches, AT&T, and Chevrolet come to Roland, they may pay to advertise their own products at the event, giving the production critical front-end capital for setting up the festival.
With Subway, we had a deal where they essentially built a giant Subway stage where they were promoting their new flatbread pizzas. And so for the week, people were able to stop by and have something to drink and try out the pizza and listen to a band playing.
The two organizations exchange sales promotions. Subway, for example, may advertise the festival in their Austin restaurants, while concert goers will see Subway advertisements at the Austin Convention Center, one of the places where South by Southwest is held. This is what's called a business-to-business relationship, or B2B. Two companies doing business for mutual benefit. Both paid advertising and sales promotion are expensive, and don't reach music fans with quite the same urgency as social media.
So, we have a system where, we will, as we are mailing out a piece, we'll also be contacting them, via social media or directly through email, and kind of what we call a two-touch approach. Social media has become maybe the most immediate in its effect piece of advertising that we use. Our website that has fresh content, every day.
By maintaining their own website for the event and keeping fans updated on Facebook and Twitter, Roland can engage event attendees directly and at a much lower cost than print or broadcast advertising. Recently, South by Southwest, already the world's largest music festival, partnered with Apple's iTunes Festival in London to bring even more great acts like Willie Nelson, Coldplay, and Imagine Dragons to Austin. They do other promotional relationships as well.
We began working with more and more monthly magazines who had a promotion they wanted to do at South by Southwest. And so they would support it with advertising in their magazine, and we would support it by helping them plan an event here during South by Southwest. So that's another way that we get advertising.
South by Southwest does some of its own promotion as well when it offers different levels of event badges to meet the needs and budgets of attendees. For a lower price, attendees can choose to access just a single event, like the film festival, while higher price badges not only get the attendees access into all the events, they grant access to VIP keynote speakers, parties, and workshops. This business-to-customer promotion is the lifeblood of the event and the main source of the festival's revenue. Because of the power of South by Southwest, Austin's largest revenue-generating event, plenty of radio stations, magazines, and news shows want to talk about it. All that publicity is free because those agencies consider the event to be news. Free publicity is highly sought after by organizations with things to sell, and is so important that organizations like South by Southwest actually employ dedicated public relations people to seek it out. This PR team actively seeks publicity from other interested stakeholders, like the City of Austin itself, which is more than happy to let the event fly banners over the streets of Austin. But music is a product that benefits from a personal touch, so many bands that attend the concert send out groups of fans known as street teams who work for free to promote the band, and by proxy, the event. Those fans are more than happy to hand out flyers or talk about the event at the local record stores and coffee shops in order to make people aware of their favorite performers. All of this personal selling benefits not only the bands, but the event as well. Imagine a street team of 10 people for each of the 2,000 music acts. That's 20,000 people volunteering to spread the word about South by Southwest at no cost to the organizers.
Word of mouth is the most important thing any business can have going for them, and we're fortunate in that South by Southwest is such an intense experience for the people that travel here. That when they go back home, people want to hear about what they did in Austin, and they have a lot to tell them.
Shut up and sit down.
That kind of grassroots promotion is some of the most effective and least expensive available. Every time a music fan sends an email to a friend about the event, mentions it in a YouTube video or podcast, or blogs about the great time they had at the last South by Southwest, that word of mouth spreads to several new people that fan has personally pre-qualified based on their interest in music. If each friend they tell passes the word on to a few more friends, that promotion can go viral and spread to literally millions of fans in a few short weeks, again, at no cost to the bands or the show's promoters. With performers and keynote speakers ranging from old favorites like Soundgarden, Bruce Springsteen, and Bono of U2, to newer breakout stars like Ryan Hemsworth, Mobb Deep, and Dum Dum Girls, South by Southwest has something for everyone. If you've been lucky enough to attend the event in person, spread the word. If you've only heard about the event online or through your favorite band, you can be sure that somewhere in that mix, there's a little bit of Roland doing promotion.